Hey, all you moviegoers, Ryan here. So just a couple of weeks ago on Anne Hathaway's Instagram, we got to find out that there's a third Princess Diaries in the works right now. Wondering if there's a story or concept of when shooting's actually going to happen. They do have a director, believe it or not, from what I see here. Her name is Adele Lim, who has worked on Crazy Rich Asians, and Ray and the Last Dragon, which Ray and the Last Dragon is one of my favorite anime movies up to date with Disney, and I'm really excited what she can actually pull. So if you guys are familiar with the last two Princess Diaries, too, Gary Marshall did those two. Man, was such an amazing director. We also got to see him in Never Been Kissed before this as well too. He's been a fantastic actor, but he's really been really focused on being a director. And he directed these two movies really good, especially the first one, especially where the story first all started at all. So what I like to do, believe it or not, is talk about with the possibilities which direction would they actually go with this movie. And they're actually talking about doing a prequel, which I was kind of interested in why they're going that direction with it. Why not continue on with the story if they're doing a sequel? Continuous story from the second one. So if you guys can recall from the second one, I'm just going to cover a little bit from the first and second. First one, we got to meet Mia Theropoulos, which is played by Anne Hathaway, of course. And we follow her characters as well, too, falling at that age in time when she's in high school, that her, not her mom, but the one up there, her grandma, the queen, Genovia, comes into town, which is San Francisco, and she finds out she's actually a princess. And with all being said this as well too, we find out her dad passed away through this as well too. So that's where the story is really developing in the first one, and having to deal with the fact how she would actually step up to being the princess this as well too. So by the time we go into the second movie, she gets more familiar into being Genovia, being the princess as she is in that country, and treasures many moments of what she has to offer in that country. And then the second one too, she has to get married. And the whole entire time they're trying to flip back and forth who she was actually a big pick. Chris Pine was in the second sequel. It was a long time ago, and I got to remember a young Chris Pine was actually in this movie. And it pretty much focused on that. And towards the end of the movie, this as well too, she decided to stay single. And why not can a princess actually stay single if she gets to that point in time to being that queen? So here we are with the third movie of Princess Diaries. Where can we actually see her? Yeah, we can pretty much tell she's going to be the queen of Genovia this as well too. From what I heard too, Julie Andrews may not be coming back for this third one, which is a bummer because she's really been a really big subject of matter in both of these movies, and even the third one. I don't know for sure she'll be mentioned if she's not going to be in the third one for sure, most definitely. And so if Julie Andrews doesn't appear in this movie, which it doesn't sound like, she doesn't, from what I heard, it sounds like she doesn't really want to get involved as much. She's more been behind the scenes with voice casting with animated movies. But these days, it seems like she doesn't want to continue on with the Princess Diaries. Maybe that could change in time, who knows? But since I mentioned names like that, what do you think what do you want to see continuing on with the story with Maya Theropoulos, known as Anne Hathaway in real life? Who we would want to see actually come back? I've heard possible rumors that many more might actually be coming back in this third movie. Just talked about Chris Pine this as well too. Is that a possibility that Chris Pine might actually come back this as well too? And what other people do you actually think might be the possibility of coming back? If this is going to be a prequel, this as well too, it's going to be hard trying to get those people back. You could still do it if you had a good story and were clever at actually bring these characters back this as well too. Now, I was also thinking of, believe it or not, Maya's best friend this as well too. Will she be coming back in this third one? I would love to see her come back to this as well too. Would you guys actually love to see that? So anyways, I want to talk about the possibilities since there's a prequel. What story would you want to see actually come in this third Princess Diaries 3? Okay, so now I would like to actually talk about what the possibilities of stories that could actually happen in this movie, The Princess Diaries 3. And since they're talking about a prequel, as it sounds like, where would you want to see the story actually form? So I was kind of actually thinking, believe it or not, if Maya was actually married after all these times of the last 20 years, she has a king. Could she have kids at this point and maybe actually tell the story of her parents, how they actually got involved? We all know that her dad was a ruler, her mom to visit the country, and they fell in love that way. But could we also possibly see the love story of that come to play in this third one as maybe May is talking to her kids. If not, if she's still single, you got to remember in the second one, she helped with foster kids as well too. Could she also be telling the story through to foster kids what actually happened, what took place way before she even knew in time? And so that's one of the things I thought. I also thought maybe on the line, there's a crazy idea this as well too with Joe and the Queen being involved because you remember with that this as well too. They had a little something happen in the first one. In the second one, yes, there was a little more than that. And they actually got married towards the end of the second one. And that what kind of believes where Julie Andrews will actually want to get into this film or not. And maybe there could actually be a story within that this as well too. Who knows? So if they did actually create a sequel into this movie, how would you want to see this movie this as well too? Could we actually see the possibility of her having trouble with a marriage if she actually is married at this time? And what if she had kids involved this as well too? Maybe I could create that lone little story that we got 23 years ago with the Princess Diaries. Maybe her being involved, maybe having almost like a teenager getting ready to actually fill in those same shoes like she kind of did in the first one, and maybe reflect on her life and what she wants to be. Maybe she has problems fitting in some way, fitting into this country. Who knows? Maybe she wants to go back to San Francisco. Then that's the thing I was quite concerned too. Will we be seeing more of San Francisco in this third one, or will this stay in Genovia this as well for the rest of the third one? I kind of like what they did with the second film. So what do you guys actually think? These are ideas I wanted to shoot out. I'm telling you, once I get done with this video, I'll probably think of millions of other ideas. Most of the time, when there's sequels, there's many open possibilities for different stories. So with this all being said, I want to hear from you guys, all your fans for the Princess Diaries. How would you want to see this story being more developed? It sounds like it's going to be a prequel. So if that's going to happen, what do you guys actually think? Do you think I might be on a little something with this? Leave your comments. I'd love to hear what you guys got to say. If this does actually create into another sequel, not a prequel, sequel. You gotta remember, prequel is a story that goes forward. The sequel is following the one after 2 and 3. But I just like to know what you guys actually feel about this movie. Are you guys actually excited? I'm actually excited to see Anne Hathaway actually coming back to play her role. But what somebody else coming back to play her, no. I don't know if I would actually be more interested. I would like to actually see the real characters actually come back from the first film into this third film. So for that all being said, as I can tell, I really had this idea of this once I saw this Instagram from Anne Hathaway on the computer saying, whoa, wait a minute, this is an idea where I can actually shout out to you guys out there, all you moviegoers, actors, to find out what you actually would actually want from this story from the Princess Diaries. So leave your comments down below. Love to hear what you guys say. Other than that, I can start wrapping things up. As you can see, I could really talk a lot about this, but I'm not going to do that with you guys. My name's Ryan. Thank you for watching. Make sure to give me those comments down below. Make sure to give me those thumbs up. I'll see you guys next time.